Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets hidden within corporate filings. And today we have a special treat. We are going to look at DT Cloudstar acquisition, corporation and entity that sounds like it's made for the future. But let's see if its filings are telling us the same story. Before we dive in, if you love getting straight to the heart of what these financial documents mean, make sure you are subscribed. We also have a fantastic community over on Discord. A link to join is in the description below. So what is this document all about? Well, DT Cloudstar Acquisition Corporation, which we will call DT Cloudstar for short, is a company that usually works to find and merge with another business, a special purpose acquisition company, or SPAC. This particular filing is an 8K report, which is essentially a way for companies to announce very important news that investors need to know about right away. Think of it as a company's bulletin board for major events. Here we see DT Cloudstar informing us about a few key things that went down around October 2025. The big story here revolves around extending the time they have to find a business to merge with. Companies like this usually have a deadline to complete this merger, and if they don't, they might have to close shop. So usually they have to do something to get more time. One of the main events is an amendment to an important agreement called the Investment Management Trust Agreement. Think of this agreement as the rulebook for the money they have set aside to buy another company. The shareholders approved a change that lets DT Cloudstar extend the deadline to complete a business combination. This gives them more time to make that crucial deal happen. They can now extend this period for up to 9 more months, which is a pretty significant extension. To get this extra time, DT Cloudstar needs to put more money into their trust account. They have to deposit $75,000 for every month they want to extend. This is a way for them to show commitment and signal to investors that they are serious about finding a deal. This extension pushes their deadline from October 2025 all the way to October 26. Now this is where it gets interesting. On the 23rd of October 2025, the company got a promissory note for $75,000. This note came from DT Cloudstar Management Limited, which is basically the initial sponsor of the company. The sponsor gave this money to DT Cloudstar to help them extend the time they have to find a business partner. What is really cool about this note is that it doesn't earn any interest, and it is due when the company finally completes its business combination. Even more, it can be converted into units of the company. Units are like small packages of the company's stock and rights. This means the sponsor could potentially get more ownership in the company later on. It is a smart move for the sponsor to help the company buy more time while potentially securing a larger stake in the future. Another important part of this filing is that the company also updated its foundational legal documents, its memorandum and articles of association. Shareholders approved these changes on the 22nd of October 2025. These updates are often tied to enabling or facilitating the business combination process or adapting to new regulations. They are essentially updating the company's own internal constitution. The filing details the results of their annual meeting of shareholders held on the 22nd of October 2025. A quorum was present, meaning enough shareholders were there or represented to make decisions. There were a few key votes that took place. First, they elected their board of directors. All 5 nominees, Sam Jung Sunday, Kenneth Lam Sharkley, Long Jiao Li and Che Zhang, were elected to serve until the next annual meeting. This ensures the leadership team remains in place to guide the company's search for a business combination. Second, the shareholders voted to approve the appointment of Elite CPA PC as the company's independent registered public accounting firm for the year ending the 31st of December 2025. It is important to have an independent auditor to make sure the company's financial statements are accurate and reliable. Third, and this ties back to our earlier discussion, shareholders approved the proposal to amend the Investment Management Trust Agreement. This was the key vote that allowed for the extension of the business combination deadline. They voted to give DT Cloudstar the right to extend the deadline for another year by depositing that $75,000 per month. This required a significant majority vote of at least 65% of the outstanding shares, which they clearly achieved. Fourth, shareholders approved a charter amendment. This amendment formally extends the date by which the company must complete its business combination. It is aligned with the trust amendment and basically solidifies the extended deadline in the company's core governing documents. This amendment needed a very strong vote of 2/3 of the outstanding shares. Now here is a crucial piece of information. In connection with these shareholder votes, over 5.2 million shares were tendered for redemption. This means that a significant number of shareholders decided to get their money back instead of waiting for the merger to happen. This is a common occurrence with SPACs when investors are unsure about the company's future prospects or if they don't believe a good merger deal will be found. It shows a degree of investor confidence wavering or a desire to exit the investment. And to kick off this extension, DT Cloudstar has already deposited that initial payment of $75,000 into the trust account. This moves the deadline for their business combination to the 26th of November 2025. So they are actively using this new flexibility. Looking at the exhibits, this filing includes the updated memorandum and articles of association as Exhibit 3.1 and the amendment to the trust agreement as Exhibit 10.1. These are the actual legal documents that lay out the changes we just discussed. Now let's put on our Warren Buffett hats and look a bit deeper. DT Cloudstar is in the business of finding another company to merge with. This filing tells us they were granted flexibility by their shareholders to extend their search deadline out to October 2026. The key takeaway here is that they need more time and they are willing to pay for it with extensions. The $75,000 per M-onth extension payment is a cost of doing business for them. What is really interesting is the promissory note from the sponsor. It shows the sponsor is committed to seeing this through and even potentially increasing their stake. However, the redemption of over 5.2 million shares is a red flag. It indicates that a substantial portion of investors are not as confident in the company's ability to secure a favorable merger, or perhaps they just want their initial investment back given the time that has passed. The core strategy for a SPAC like DT Cloudstar is to find a valuable target and execute a merger. Their current challenge is finding that right partner. The extended deadline is a positive in that it gives them more runway. However, the redemption signal that investor patience might be wearing thin. The company's success hinges entirely on the quality of the merger. They eventually strike if they find a strong growing company that the market likes they could do very well. If they merge with a less attractive business or the market conditions are unfavorable post, merger then the outlook could be bleak for the remaining shareholders. What is truly notable here is the balance between management's need for more time and the shareholders' willingness to give it versus those who are exiting. It's a constant tug of war in the SPAC world. The sponsor's commitment via the promissory note is a strong signal of belief, but the redemptions are a counterpoint. The real risk for DT Cloudstar now is simply running out of time without a compelling deal or facing a merger that doesn't excite the market and leads to further shareholder dissatisfaction. The opportunity for them is to leverage this extra time to find that perfect acquisition that can create significant value. Alright, that is our breakdown of DT Cloudstar's latest filing. What do you think about their extended search for a merger partner and the sponsor's investment? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this deep dive was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out a lot, and of course subscribe for more corporate insights. Don't forget to check out the Discord link in the description to join our community. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.